is up, guys? It's Corzi from Gaming Legit bringing you some Homefront gameplay. It's a fantastic game. Don't listen to what any of the Call of Duty big shot commentators are saying. You know, instantly they just gravitate towards the graphics, and the graphics are horrible. Well, there are some glitchy graphics going on top of the fact that the graphics aren't fantastic, but the graphics aren't a deterrent by any means. I'm all about playability. I'm all about how it plays competitively online, and this game plays fantastic online. It's got some great mechanics within the game. The biggest downside I can see right now with the playability is the servers and how laggy it tends to be online. I think it switches back from host to server based, which can get pretty annoying. And in this game specifically, I'm going to pull up the menu, the ping menu, and I'm going to show you what the connection is and what I generally have to deal with. And so there's no arguing against it. The lag is atrocious right now. But the cool thing is when this game first came out, so as you can see, there's one person that clearly is host. We're not all connected to a server. One person clearly has a host advantage. In some games that can be pretty bad. You know, the lobby I was in previous to this that I ended up leaving, the host was decent, so it's like me getting host, and the last guy, or in the last lobby I played in that had host, he had 17 more kills than every single person that's in the game. Every single person, 17 more kills. Now it might not be that much, and you know, I'm just trying to assume, I guess, and prepare for someone saying 17 kills isn't that much. 17 kills is a lot of freaking kills. That's an entire game of kills. Like, if you get 17 kills in one game, you're doing pretty good. So having 17 more kills than every other person in the game on top of your already good score, that's a damn good score. And especially in Homefront, because it's not like you're running into herds of 5 guys at a time. You don't run into that at all. It's kind of, did you see that? This guy just lagged like 12 feet. You just kind of see guys periodically, and you get like one kill maybe every 40 seconds or something like that. You know, sometimes that rate picks up, but it's not like you're running around and you're seeing guys non-stop. So that's why I use the sniper rifle. Those are those UAV drones. They are super annoying, but the nice thing about the sniper rifles is that you can shoot them out of the sky pretty easily, and the sniper class is almost a counter to those UAV drones, which are super annoying. If you're playing against a group or a team that has like 3 or 4 guys using that, it is very hard to counter it. Very hard. And I've ran into so many games where I've run into teams that have 3 or 4 of those going up constantly because they're very cheap to buy. It doesn't take hardly any battle points, and you spawn with an opportunity to get one right away. And those are you very quickly can you get points by spotting people with the UAV drone. You can spot sometimes several guys at one time very quickly, and it's very hard to shoot them down if you're not using the sniper rifle. It'll take a lot of ammo to be able to shoot them down unless they're like right directly in front of you, unless you've got some kind of superhero connection that I don't know about, but in my online experience so far, it takes a lot of shots to be able to put them down. I was like a quarter of a second behind that guy, and he saw me a lot faster. Maybe he was one of the guys I shot previously, but so those UAV drones are another problem I can see in this game. I think they need a little bit of adjustment. Maybe they need to cost more to be able to use. Probably something closer to the drones that actually shoot missiles. Those things are relatively expensive, I suppose, but they're quite easily destroyed quite quickly. Those UAV drones are actually more powerful and more team-oriented, of course, than those drones that have capabilities of being able to kill you. And the reason being is that when those guys start spotting people, you know exactly where they are and where they're moving, and so there's no hiding when you're completely spotted. It shows everybody where you are, and you're pretty much doomed. Like, everybody's going to whoever's spotted, and they have their iron sights up waiting for you to turn the corner. There's nothing you could do when you're spotted. The best bet is if you're spotted by one of those UAV drones, to find the UAV drone and try to shoot it out of the sky, and then soon following your spot is going to leave, and you'll no longer be marked. So those I can kind of see as being an issue, and they need a little bit of adjustment. I don't know if they're going to. honestly, I just think that they need to be more easily shot down out of the sky, or they can only spot a certain amount of people per 10 seconds or something like that. Because I've gotten in Battle Commander, you get kill streaks, and it marks you as an enemy threat. The higher the kill streak is, and so if I go on like a 2 kill streak, it's gonna tell the opposite team, like 1 or 2 guys, that hey, we have a new threat and priorities have changed and you need to take him out. And so I'm going to have 2 guys that are going to be hunting me down specifically, trying to end my kill streak. It doesn't tell them specifically where I'm at, but it gives them a general diameter or a vicinity that they have to look within, that it goes, hey, he's within this area, go find him. And another thing that, causation for them wanting to find me is if they actually kill me, they get a lot more points than they would from a normal kill. And so you end up becoming a high priority if you go onto a kill streak. Now, the whole reason why I brought this up is because you can go onto separate kill streaks with vehicles. And so a UAV drone that's used to spot people can actually go on a kill streak just by spotting people. And you can get a lot of points. There's been many cases where I've spent money to pull out my UAV drone, pulled out the UAV drone, spotted a series of people, and then when it ended up getting destroyed, and I returned back to my prone position that I was hiding in a bush, when I got out of it, I had more points than I did when I first purchased the UAV. And so sometimes that's a perfect example for that UAV drone being seemingly overpowered. And if you have several people that are good with UAV drones and they're smart with them, and you just continually are spotting the enemy team, and topple that with the fact that they're so cheap to buy with the battle points, they are just, I don't know, I think the counters just make them more expensive. Just make them more expensive to buy, because then they won't be in the sky 24/7. But this was a pretty easy lobby. I didn't run into a bunch of the enemies using the battle points for the UAV drones. They're probably trying to save them up for something like the phosphorus attack that you saw me use earlier. And on the note of that phosphorus attack, so you can see how easy it is when an enemy is spotted. You know exactly where they are. Their entire body is like highlighted. It's not just like a little orange triangle above their head like in Bad Company. You know exactly where they are. And there's going to be a part coming up fairly soon where I'm sprinting around the back part of a map, back part of a building, and because one of the UAV drones spotted someone, I knew that there was a guy on the opposing side of the building that actually was running around. It's right here. And so if it wasn't for the UAV spot, I would have no idea that this guy was running my direction. So I was already prepared for him. And so this guy didn't stand a chance. He had no idea that I was running to meet up with him. And as soon as you're spotted like that, it's just game over. What can you do? I mean, you're completely highlighted. So yeah, I think they need to balance that a little bit better. It seems like the consensus online with people I've talked to, with playing, or through various lobbies and some of my subscribers and people on my friends list, that they agree that there's something that needs to change with the UAV. So hopefully we'll see something soon. Typically on my classes, I like to run one of my battle point options as an RPG, just some kind of anti-vehicle weapon. As soon as you get a team that understands the value and the threat of a vehicle, I go to throw a grenade right when he turns around that corner. Just bad timing on my part. But as soon as an enemy team understands the threat of a vehicle and how to use them appropriately, they can easily pick up 5 or 6 kills before someone destroys them. So I have enough battle points right now to buy a tank, but I'm holding out for a chopper because choppers are just deadly, super deadly. Focus everybody's attention up to the sky, and so your infantry on the ground can catch them off guard while they're trying to shoot you. Oftentimes they're trying to put shots into your chopper as you're flying around, and you just see all this gunfire coming from a position, so even if you don't have a line of sight of the person that's trying to shoot you, the team can figure out where they are. And on top of that too, while you're flying around, you catch a lot of people off guard. They're not always looking up into the sky prepared for some chopper shooting down on them. So the choppers overall are just absolutely deadly. That was a pretty cool move right there. Pop them with the grenade and then get a nice snipe on them. And so back to the team oriented vehicles. And so off of a spawn, you can choose to purchase a vehicle, and every once in a while you'll see a team vehicle, and it doesn't cost any or battle points. It means that one of your teammates has already purchased a vehicle, and his secondary position within the vehicle is available, and you could spawn into it. And as soon as you spawn into that vehicle now is just a destroyer. By itself, not so much. So if you purchase a Humvee and you're just driving around, that's what it is you're just driving around. This game, I can see, it's just going to be all about communication. You know, I love seeing that the newer and newer games are just getting more and more competitive and team-based, where the more communication that's going on among one team, that team generally is going to win. Not so much. Not everything is weighted on personal level of skill, more so than it is based on the team action that's going on. And so that's really nice. And so a Humvee, which is fairly cheap to purchase, that is almost useless, can become absolutely deadly if you get a good gunner in the secondary position, and the driver is not an idiot and is actually keeping mobile, so you're not going to fall victim to the EMP grenades and some of the RPGs. Now, the very last vehicle that you can get, which is the Apache helicopter, is a destroyer. It is devastating. It's a beast. The secondary position with that Apache helicopter, you get a thermal sight, just like in Bad Company, secondary position, and you have it's like a camera underneath the chopper, just like in Bad Company, but the thermal is even more advanced for this game. Like, everybody just glows, and you can just destroy person after person after person. If somebody hits an Apache, and a couple good people are in the Apache, you can absolutely devastate the enemy team. Now, this chopper generally hasn't been that successful for me, and I think a lot of it is based on the internet connection and the servers or host in this case that I've been in, because the weapons will overheat. You can't just hold down the weapon, by the way. So if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see the turret, and you'll see this little bar jagging back and forth, and the closer it gets, now it just overheated, so I have to wait for it to cool down. Now, in other games, I've had to have that weapon overheat like 4 times before I've been able to get a kill on one person. Whereas in this game, it seems like generally I'm getting a kill with what the chopper is supposed to be. So it gives a little bit of insight towards the games that are more laggy for me. And so I know what should be a kill with this chopper. It's a devastating chopper. And, you know, people are going to be focusing their attention to me. And go figure, I have a person that's an Apache flying around just devastating people too. And it doesn't look like they have a secondary gunner in that Apache. So in communication, so say I'm running around with my team and I go, I'm going to save up my battle points for a vehicle. You can use the UAV drone to start spotting people, and when I get enough points for the vehicle, I'll tell you when I'm going to get the vehicle, and then either meet me or spawn inside of my vehicle. And you can absolutely destroy people. Our choppers are cuddling right there. The downside to what I did in this game is that I falsely used phosphorus when I thought I had an RPG equipped. And so I accidentally did an airstrike early on in the game when I got the triple feed. Now, phosphorus is a pretty deadly airstrike, but I was really trying to save up for the Apache. And the airstrike costs, I don't know, 1,000 battle points or something relatively close to that. So that was pretty much the prevention of me being able to get the Apache, which sucks. So hopefully I'll get you a nice Apache. So that's an introduction to Homefront. I hope you guys like it. As you can see, I'm not going to rip this game apart based on graphics and all that kind of stuff, because I can see a lot of positive stuff in this game. God bless, love you, and a little additional news, go check out gaminglegit.com. I'm building the website. I actually have a portfolio of different videos that are linked to the site, and so I think you guys will like it. Some of the links are closed. It's not a finished site, but nevertheless, you have something to dabble within. God bless, love you, see you in upcoming vids.